going to Kansas City. If I could, I could, I could, I could. I'm going to.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Choppin It Up with the Cleavers. My name is Emmanuel Cleaver III.
And I'm Emil Cleaver.
Check us out every Tuesday. We drop a new episode. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Choppin It Up with the Cleavers. Check us out most places you get your podcast. Every Tuesday, a new episode.
And be sure to subscribe.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, something in the news that I don't know how much is being talked about, but it's being talked. I mean, we came across it, and it's very disturbing. So in Livingston, Tennessee, the mayor of that town is a black man. His name is Robert Hayes, and he declared April would be Confederate History Month. And so there's this picture of him online, and he's surrounded by members of the Sons of Confederate Veterans.
And he's smiling.
What Ice Cube said, black people always got to show their teeth.
Oh, that's not what he said.
I know,
okay.
but I mean, I can't say what he said.
Okay,
but anyway, so there's a picture, and he's surrounded by these descendants of people who fought for slavery.
They're the Sons of Confederates. They say they're not racist though.
They say they're not racist, but the Southern Poverty Law Center said that several of its members are a part of hate groups. So, I mean, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, so they don't advocate hate. They just advocate keeping the memory alive of people who fought against the United States. But the members, people who are part of it, so the Southern Poverty Law Center, they broke it down that several of their national officers, because they have several branches, are a part of hate groups. And some of them were involved in that Tiki Torch protest back in Charlottesville a few years ago. So why in the world would a black mayor declare April Confederate History Month?
Well, if you look at the picture, I think everybody should take time and look at the picture. Look it up. It's in Livingston, Tennessee. This black mayor, he's surrounded by the Sons of Confederates. It may look like they have him at gunpoint. I mean, they're hiding their guns in the picture, but he may have done it at gunpoint because he's surrounded by him. So we don't know.
They're surrounded by him, but they're saying, look what we got. We got us a good one. We got us an obedient one.
Yeah, he's smiling. So, I mean, he seems happy, but somebody needs to check to see if they held him at gunpoint. When I first read it, I thought, man, Dave Chappelle has a new skit coming out.
Yeah, Clayton Bixby.
I mean, it was a part 2. And this is a strange story because this same black mayor received the NAACP award in Tennessee not too long ago. So yes. I don't know, maybe he's just trying to play both sides, or maybe he was held at gunpoint.
Or he has his eye on a higher office. Yeah. I mean, maybe Livingston, Tennessee is not his final place. They say that it's hard, that he seems nonpartisan, so he hasn't really declared anything. And a lot of city elected offices, you don't have to declare a party. So he seems pretty neutral, but this seems out of the box. Here's my thing. I don't know how we can have any Confederate statues or anything that celebrates the Confederacy, because these were people who fought against the United States. If we're going to celebrate people that fought against the United States, why don't we have Hitler or somebody? I mean, it's the same thing. They were anti-United States. So how can we celebrate that?
Yeah, you can't have any statues of these people, but you can't destroy all that. I mean, it needs to be put in a museum. It is part of our history. It's part of American history. It needs to be in a museum. It needs to never be forgotten. It needs to be studied. So, I mean, that's just my opinion.
But you have to tell the truth about it, because the Sons of Confederates, they're going to say we're preserving history. And then they say that the Civil War, this is what this group teaches, that the Civil War wasn't about slavery.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm with Confederate History Month. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying people tear down these statues, and all these monuments, and they should be taken down, but they should be put in a museum because it's part of history, and history can't be forgotten. You can't just erase history, just like they can't erase critical race theory from the schools. We can't erase racism in America. I mean, it has to be preserved. It has to be studied. That's just my opinion. Some people may disagree, but I don't care.
I mean, yeah, no, it's history. So you teach, the Confederate Army, they fought against the United States. I mean,
Enemies.
you can't say that. They were enemies of the United States.
Yeah, that flag should be considered an enemy of the United States. I mean, anytime that flag is up, it should be considered an act against America. But for some reason, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have the North Korean flag or the Russian flag. It's the same thing.
You don't have the Vietnam flag flying everywhere.
Same thing. And but it's strange that a black man, maybe he either doesn't understand what he's doing, or he has his eye
He's
on
a
a higher
grown man.
office.
I'm sure he understands.
That doesn't mean he understands. Common sense isn't all that common. I mean, call it common sense.
Well, I don't believe in common sense, but okay.
I don't. Okay, what would you replace common sense with? I don't understand.
There's no such thing as common sense because we're not all common people. We don't all come from the same background. We don't all come from the same cultures. We don't all come from the same education. So you can't say common sense. That's a disrespect to somebody, in my opinion. You can't just say common sense. There is no common sense. We're not all common people. We're not all the same. So,
yeah, I don't think common sense implies that people are common. It implies that these are things that, at least in this country. I mean, yeah, I agree. If there are other parts of the world, they look at things differently. But common sense really is saying that in this part of the world, this is something that you don't need a degree to understand. This is something that any mature person would be able to comprehend. I mean, that's common sense. But yeah, no, everybody's different. We all come from different backgrounds. But still, as a mayor, I mean, either he doesn't understand or, again, it doesn't matter to him because he's trying to play both sides.
Or he just hates black people. He has that self-hate. We haven't brought that up. The self-hate. I mean, there's a lot of powerful people with self-hate in Congress and Senate. Well, I should say in the Senate specifically.
Well, you got some running for office. Your boy Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
Seems not to care about black people too much.
Tim Scott, I mean, he walked out on the Supreme Court when they're
Jackson, when she was confirmed.
A standing ovation. He walked out. So I mean, he just, man, that dude.
He does not. Maybe he didn't understand the significance.
He was understanding. He was smiling. He's always smiling, man. Every time you see that dude, he's smiling.
Well, he's trying to get. I saw on the news this week that he's looking at running for president.
Man,
I'm just saying he has his eye on the presidency. So don't be surprised if he announces, "Hey, I'm running for president."
Nah, I'm not gonna vote for you. I'm not gonna vote for you, Timmy.
You think he has a shot to win the Republican nomination?
Please.
You don't think Republican? He's supposed to be a star in the Republican Party.
Is he?
I mean, yeah.
Just because he's black?
Yeah. I mean, how many name another black Republican like that in the Senate or House?
In the Senate, well, he's the only black Republican.
Well, see, he has to be. Then, yeah,
isn't he? Is there?
They can spot him in the Republican convention.
Yeah,
he's real easy to pick out.
Well, yeah.
And so they're going to use him to reach out to other black votes for the Republican Party.
Yeah, this black mayor and Tim Scott, I guess, and Herschel Walker and Candace Owens, you can put them all in the same group. And
yeah, Candace Owens seems like she really, I mean, more than the others, that she despises black people.
Yeah.
And I wonder what happened
at that black school that she went to. What school did
she go? I don't.
Yeah,
she went to a black school.
Yeah, she went to a black college.
All right, I had to look that up. I mean,
there's
there's no way she went to an HBCU.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she went to a black college. Something must have happened to her, and she turned into Herschel Walker and all these other people. Yeah,
if she went to an HBCU and she's like
the
this,
self-hate in America is pretty real. It seems like a lot of powerful people with big voices.
Now, she went to University of Rhode Island.
No, did she? I thought she went to some black college.
Maybe
she played a sorority.
I don't know. I can't imagine that. Maybe she went for a little bit. But, yeah, something must have happened that caused her to say black people are the scum of the earth. I mean, she denies that there's racism. Just seems like, yeah, it's like you said, something happened. Yeah, she got her undergraduate degree from University of Rhode Island. I don't know how many black folk are there, but I don't know. I guarantee she didn't hang with them.
Oh man,
she probably didn't spend too much time with them.
Oh, it seems like she sued or did something with the NAACP about discrimination.
She doesn't like black people.
No, yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up. But yeah, she's part of that group with the mayor, this new mayor,
Robert Hayes.
Man, don't make him a star. I mean, we said his name. We said his name.
He needs to be highlighted as
one of those groups.
Rolling
that group of people.
Rolling with the what do you want to call that group? The raccoons?
Yeah,
the raccoon group.
No, we can't call them that.
Why not?
We can call them
it's
those.
Just the mascot. That's their mascot.
We call them. What did Herschel Walker say? TRT or what was he? CTR. We'll call them the CTR group.
What was he trying to say?
Critical race theory. You didn't hear that?
But he did it the wrong way.
Yeah, he said, "Man, I don't even know what CTR is."
Well, have you ever heard Herschel Walker speak?
I heard him say that.
I'm just saying. Does he strike you as an highly intelligent person?
This ad comes to another question that I'm thinking. Like, what did he get his degree in? He went to college.
In football.
He went
have
to
you
college,
heard him talk?
He graduated from somebody's high school, and they let him talk like that. Come on now.
Okay, but yeah, that's okay. He came from the southern, so he's a southern accent.
Okay, southern accent,
but
you can still at least learn how to put your sentences together.
Yeah, his sentence structure, adjectives, verbs.
Yeah, sentence structure needs to be worked on.
Yeah,
his pronunciation and
But yeah, I mean, can you imagine him? Can you imagine him on the Senate floor making speeches?
No,
we is going to overcome.
No, he wouldn't say we. He said he is already overcome. I don't even know what CTR is.
Did somebody stand up and correct him? Herschel, we don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, the crowd he's in front of, they're like, "Yeah, Herschel, run the touchdown."
Yeah. But I, from what I understand, he's being supported. Donald Trump gave him support, but a lot of the Republican Party isn't too fond of him, which I understand. I mean, because I think they had tried to have a conversation with him, and they didn't understand. Herschel, what are you saying? I don't get it.
Yeah, I just got through talking to Herschel Walker. What did he say? I don't know. I think he said he wants to run for some office.
He split a lot of verbs.
He's running for a national seat too, man.
Yeah, he's running for U.S. Senate in Georgia.
And he might win. Now, what does that say about us?
It's Georgia. I mean,
yeah. Man, it says a lot, that people like this are getting elected. And when I mean people like this, I mean the CTR group.
That's what we're going to really call them, CTR. The CTR group. I got you. Okay, they're the CTR group.
CTR group. And, I mean, we need to beware of these people.
Yeah, but, I mean, he's in Georgia, so you're right. He has a shot.
Washington.
I know.
He's about to be in D.C. calling stuff.
Yeah.
Opposing laws.
I think he can. I don't think he'll win. I don't think he'll win, but, I mean, yeah, he is in Georgia, so it's not completely unheard of as long as he talks bad about black people.
Which he will.
He'll have a shot.
Maybe he should get Candace Owens to do a commercial for him.
Yeah. I wonder if this mayor in Tennessee, what his enunciation is like. Does he know how to conjugate verbs properly?
I'm not sure. We'll see.
Yeah, but it's wild. But look out and see. We're going to see if he registers for a higher office, then we'll know why he made April Confederate History Month.
Man, who is this? Isn't there somebody in the media in that CTR group?
In the media?
Yeah, man, I was trying to.
You talking about a black person in the media?
Yeah. I don't know if he's in the CTR group, but
there's old boy, sports boy. He doesn't like black people. Seems like, he's completely against it. Jason Whitlock.
Jason Whitlock.
He doesn't seem like if there's a black person.
He rounds out that group. He rounds out that CTR group. That starting five. That's just we got a starting five,
okay,
right?
so
We got
Tim
Scott. We got Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
We got this new mayor. We got the Confederate mayor,
Robert Hayes in Tennessee.
We got Candace Owens. And now we got Jason Whitlock. That's a starting five.
For the CTR group.
Yeah, we got a starting five. Those are the people that we need to beware of because they're building soldiers. Well, I don't know if Herschel Walker is because can't nobody understand. Can't nobody understand what he's saying. I used to like Herschel Walker, man, when we were little. Watching him in Georgia.
Man, he was tough.
Man,
he was tough. But, I didn't see a whole lot of interviews with him, so he didn't really get to articulate his views.
Yeah, I don't remember interviews when we were in school.
I just remember him watching him. He was cold-blooded at Georgia.
Yeah, he was a good player. Don't grow up to meet your heroes because they disappoint you. He wasn't a hero, but I did like him when he played football, and now we see that he's a CTR.
I'm still baffled by what causes black folk to be completely against black folk.
Yeah. Candace Owens, yeah, you're right. She said some blatantly disrespectful things to black people.
There's another guy, you're right. I can't think of his name.
In the media?
Yeah. I think he was like one of those judge shows or something. I can't think of his name, but he might be the coach. He's pretty good for CTR. But I'm thinking, back in the day, during the time of slavery, those folk who would turn and tell about slavers' revolts, they were doing so because they wanted to be loyal to Massa. I'm just saying, and they and they were happy because Massa would give them the leftovers on their plate that they spit out of their mouth, and they were happy to get that. But I don't know why the CTR group.
Well, it's the same theory. They get a prize for Massa. They say something.
That is true.
Say something that Massa likes, and next thing you got a TV show. Next thing you know, you're working for Donald Trump. You're doing something.
That is true, because if you are a black revolutionary, you're down for the struggle, equality for black folk. There are several around the country, so you might not make a name for yourself, but if you are somebody who thinks black folk are asking for too much, you stand out.
Yeah, you will.
So you're going to get a lot of attention. So I get it.
That's how you make it.
But I wonder if they really believe it.
Yeah, they believe it.
You think so?
I don't know.
know.
Herschel Walker believes it. I'm sorry.
You think so?
I think everybody Herschel Walker believes it. He grew up in, yeah.
Because I guess he didn't, to make a name, he already had a name, so he didn't have to say that black people are monkeys.
I would like to see him read a book. I want to see him read a book out loud.
In public?
Yeah, to make sure
I'm
he
sure
can do it.
Read. He graduated, didn't he? Or did he leave early?
No, he graduated. I don't think he could leave early in football back then. I know, but yeah, I don't think he. I'm pretty sure he didn't. I'm pretty sure he graduated, and I'm pretty sure that he would have difficulty reading "Run, Dick, Run."
Maybe
Dick and Jane book.
Maybe he graduated in TV watching, or something like that.
He graduated in football.
Yeah,
he got his degree in football.
Yeah, he was a star, so he can make his way through. Yeah. They're gonna make sure he has the grades and all of that.
Yeah, but I believe that they're just indoctrinated. Something like Candace Owens, something happened to her. Jason Whitlock. I don't know.
I think his jealousy, because he played football, because he seems to beat up on all the black athletes.
Yeah, he hates black athletes.
And
I think it's because he wasn't accepted. People said that he looked like Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, that.
And so
But I think he, because he was recruited. I think he played football somewhere. I don't remember where, but he wasn't a blue chip prospect.
No.
So I think because he didn't make it, I think he has a lot of hate for those stars. He hates people like LeBron James. Really, it seems like he hates black athletes. Period. Allen Iverson, he did not like Allen Iverson.
Man,
he hated that man. Because I guess he wanted to be him.
Self-hate is real. It's real in America. Unfortunately, with black people, it's alive and well.
But historically, we were taught to hate, ourselves.
And that's why
hate our culture.
Some people still do, and that's why these people really believe it. They really hate your black skin.
Yeah. Although there's this Willie Lynch theory. It was proven that there's no actual evidence of it. Willie Lynch theory was this theory that I think it was a Dutch slave master said, we're going to teach you how to control your slaves. What you're going to do is you're going to turn the women against the men, the lighter skin against the darker skin, the field hand against the house. You turn them all against each other. And
everything.
You would be able to control because they wouldn't come together. Now, again, there's no actual evidence that there was anything like that, but you can still see that whether it was something officially written down or not,
you can still feel the residue.
You see it. You see it.
Yeah, it wasn't real, but it's real.
Yeah,
if that
right.
makes sense.
Now
they got us from slavery, and we need to get out of it.
Yeah,
mentally, we got to get out of it. Even people that aren't in this CTR group. We don't support black businesses. All the way down. Everybody could take some responsibility in some way or another. We don't support black organizations like we do the mainstream organizations. What's the little Grammy, the Emmys, the
Grammys,
Academy
the
Awards,
Emmys, the Oscars.
All of them. We hold those in higher esteem than we do a black award or anything like that. I don't know why. A few years ago, we were complaining about they didn't include us in those awards, and now they give a few black people awards, and now we're all back 100%. It shouldn't be like that, we shouldn't hold them in higher esteem. So I think everybody does it to a certain extent, but then there are some others in this special group, this special CTR group that they take it to another level.
Yeah, because it really does boil down to self-hate, and something happens. It's like Uncle Ruckus on the Boondocks.
Oh, Uncle Ruckus.
He did not. Well, he was told that he was white from an early age.
Yeah.
So even though he was black. But yeah, so it's
same thing Michael Jackson got, but in reverse.
Yeah, that's what Uncle Ruckus says. That's what Uncle Ruckus says. So it is. It's unfortunate, but it's real. We do have to start supporting each other, support black businesses. I was talking to somebody. Black people spend billions of dollars on hair products, but the industry we don't control.
Yeah, and that's a shame.
We don't
control that industry.
We have no power, influence in the industry when it comes to cosmetics, but we spend billions on hair and hair products. But we don't even own the stores. Not only do we not create the products, but we don't even own the stores.
Yeah,
we don't even manage the stores.
We don't even work in the stores.
Right? Yeah. But we're spending billions of dollars in that industry. That's
why I say we all have that self hate in some way or another.
At some point, we got to take control of if we're going to spend billions, it ought to be some black folk who are billionaires in that industry. Yeah, but we're not.
In every industry that we're spending money, it should be billionaires, not millionaires, billionaires.
We spend a lot of money on cars. We talked about that last week. We put some money in Mr. Lexus and Mr. BMW. Although black folk we're not in the car industry like that. Yeah, that's an industry we're too far behind. So watch out for the CTR group. We'll talk about them a little more.
Yeah, they're gonna
don't let them get you. Don't let them get you. Don't let them trick you.
Don't turn into the CTR
into
group.
thinking that Confederate History Month is okay. There's several. I mean, this is not the first city that's done this. It's just a black mayor has done it. So don't go to Livingston, Tennessee in April. Because part of the celebration might be a hanging. You don't know.
Maybe they'll hang that black mayor.
I mean, he doesn't know. He's turning it over to them. What are they? Well, Mayor, what we need to do is we need you to put this rope around hanging. You. Oh, sure, I'll do it. I'll do it. If you all give me the votes. Yeah.
Build a statue of me.
Yeah. That's crazy. So when we hear more about it, because I read a lot about it, but still haven't heard why he did it. I heard about the sons of the Confederate veterans why they want it, and why it's important. And even though the Civil War wasn't fought about slavery, I don't know what you guys are talking about. No. It had nothing to do with slavery. It had to do with states' rights. Come on.
Yeah, states' rights to have slaves.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't want to hear that. But anyway, we're going to move on. We talked about this again. When we find out more, when I hear from this mayor, we'll bring it back up. I need to hear his.
Maybe we can get him on the show.
Yeah, we'll do it via Zoom. Hey, Mayor, why did you do that? I don't know.
We might have to get Herschel Walker to interpret it, though. I don't know. I haven't heard him speak yet.
Maybe we'll get Herschel Walker on the show.
Yeah, that would be the greatest show ever. If he got mad, we might have to have something to get him off of us.
Because Herschel, he did fight MMA. He fought in. I know you know, but others don't know that Herschel Walker fought MMA. He fought in Strike Force. Yeah, fought professionally in Strike Force.
He was 3-0.
Yeah, I mean they put him against the lower end. He didn't fight any top folk, and he was kind of sloppy. But I mean, he still won, and he was in his 40s. He was in his 40s. But he still won. Yeah. I mean, dude is still in shape. Dude can still go.
So if you're going to say something about Herschel Walker, make sure he's not in front of you.
Hopefully he still can run. Because maybe he can chase. Because his brother take off running, but he might still be able to run. I don't know.
He still works out good.
He's still in his feet. He looks good. He looks good.
He does 1,000 push-ups a day.
Yeah,
so
I can see him. He looks good. Herschel, we didn't. I know, dude looks like he can still go. Herschel, we didn't mean to offend you, but
well, he doesn't understand.
But man, it seems like you hate black folk. Yeah. It just does. Some of the things you say, and articulation still. Those things are real. Man. But God bless you. God loves you. God, all that.
So do those white people.
But we don't. We don't, not man. Anymore. Come on, man.
Not anymore.
I can't support you. Man. Anyway, so this past week, last week, was the last episode of the sitcom Blackish.
I thought it was called Negroish.
Come on, man.
It was just Blackish? Okay.
Yeah, so Blackish did the final episode. It was on for a while, so apparently people loved it.
Yeah.
So I started watching it in the beginning, and I liked it. Mm-hmm. But, with a lot of sitcoms, after a while, it didn't keep my attention.
I think I was the same way. I started watching it, but really couldn't get deep into it. They had some good episodes.
Yeah, some good episodes.
But I just it wasn't something that I tuned into every week.
But yeah, congratulations on much success. So it'll be in syndication now. You all make your money. Tracy Ellis Ross and all
well
the
deserved. Lawrence Fishburne, everybody. Yeah,
everybody.
Well deserved.
So
I mean, just because we didn't watch it, we don't.
Yeah, doesn't mean
we're not hating on it.
Yeah, we don't support it because I know a lot of people who do like it. So that's a good thing to see a black show on there and talking about the black experience. So I'm glad that it was on the air. It was a pivotal show, important show. But since we are talking about it, it was the final episode. Today we're giving our top 5 of best black sitcoms of all time. Now this is just the best black sitcoms of all time because if I have to be honest, if I'm honest. if we're just naming the best sitcoms, then I have a few.
Well, we're probably gonna do that one day.
I have a few non-black sitcoms that are in my top 5, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But we're doing the top 5 black sitcoms of all time. I went first last time, so give me your top 5.
Okay, so before I do the top 5, I'm gonna do honorable mention. I have a few honorable mentions, so I'm gonna throw the Jeffersons in there, the Cosby Show. Yeah, it didn't make my top 5. What's Happening, Living Single, and what was the last one I was gonna put in there?
A Different World?
No.
Martin?
No.
Okay.
So let me go to my top 5.
All right.
Number 5. I have to put in there. I've probably seen I've seen every episode. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It was a show he was the same at Fresh Prince. Will Smith. I got to do the smack. He was probably around the same age as us. Hip hop show, incorporated hip hop. The guests would be
all kinds of
walks of
D.L.
life.
Hughley.
All walks of life. Yeah. I mean, it engulfed African American life, I thought, and it was a funny show. So that's going to be my number 5, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. If it comes on today, I'll still watch it. So number 4, and this was a tough one, but I had to put number 4, Sanford and Son. One of the funniest shows of all time. I mean, this show was incredibly funny. We watched it as kids. First time I heard somebody call someone a heathen.
You old fish-eyed fool.
I mean, all of that stuff. Red Fox was hilarious. I mean, he was funny. And the thing about it, I mean, the stories were kind of simple. They weren't really extravagant, but it didn't matter. You just turned that camera on and Red Fox was going to go.
He did his thing.
Yeah, he was funny. So I got to put that number 4. Number 3, I'm going to put Martin. I have to say Martin was one of the funniest shows of all time.
Martin was good.
Tune in every single week just to see the different characters.
What was it, Black Belt Jones, Karate Jones, what's his name?
I mean, all the characters.
Silence.
He had the characters. I mean, kept me laughing every week, all week. Martin Lawrence. Props out to him. 2 of the bad boys on my list. So number 2. So this is going to be a little offshoot because this is a cartoon.
All right.
So it's a situation comedy, but it's just a cartoon. So I have to put the Boondocks as number 2. Now, some people probably
hilarious
won't even know what this show is. I mean, it's
Aaron
probably
McGruder.
It's a generational show, but it was a cartoon written by Aaron McGruder. I mean, it was a hilarious show. Regina King
played 2 of the characters. She was very good.
Very, very good. John Witherspoon's, rest in peace, who I saw, one of the first stand-up comedians I saw live. He was on the show. I mean, it was a great show.
Good show.
About 2 kids that moved in with their grandfather, inherited some money. One of them was black conscious.
Revolutionary, Huey.
The other one was a wannabe gangster,
Riley.
Thug. But they were both hilarious. Riley was probably the funniest. Well, Uncle Ruckus, and that's what we were talking about earlier. The cartoon character, Uncle Ruckus, a black person who believed he was white, hated black people.
He called them little nigglets.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a great show. It's a little vulgar, probably for some people.
Yeah,
but it's a funny show. So number 1, anybody that knows me knows I'm gonna put this Good Times, the greatest sitcom of all time, possibly the most important. I should say
it is the most important
sitcom of all times.
It is.
It was the first time you saw a black family, a complete black family, and you had seen mothers with their sons on like Julia and other shows like that, but you had never seen a whole black family. And Esther Roll, who was the lead character, Florida Evans, she said she was actually the star of the show. Probably people think it was
that was the intent.
It was
the intent.
Yeah. So she was the star of the show. Said she was not going to do the show without the kids having a daddy. They didn't want to have James Evans. Wasn't originally
John Amos.
John Amos. He wasn't in the picture. It was supposed to be Florida Evans and her 3 kids. Esther Rose said, "I'm not doing it if they can't have a daddy." She fought for it. Got John Amos. A lot of people don't know he tried out for the Chiefs. If you watch Uptown Saturday Night, you can see the speed when he's chasing Bill Cosby. I'm saying, go watch it. You can see his speed.
Dude is real.
You can see that speed in there. He was actually 19 years younger than Esther Rose. Something like 19 years younger. They had to put gray hair in him.
Same thing they did with Brett Fox on his show.
Yeah, everybody in the 70s played an older person, but they put gray in his hair. Very important show. You didn't want to have your chores not done when James Evans came through that door, because he worked hard at the car wash or wherever he was working that day.
He looked like he could do
Black
damage.
father,
He looked strong.
The first strong black father you have seen on television. So that's my top 5.
All right, I got some of the same things. My number 5, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I have to put that on there. Seen every episode. That's why I'm not willing to just throw Will Smith away because of the mistake he made. Because he's done so many good things. Like we said earlier, man, he had all kind of stars, people up and coming.
Chris Rock was on the show.
Yeah, Chris Rock was on the show. He did wear a dress because he was Will was going out with his sister.
Yeah,
but so Fresh Prince of Bel-Air for some of the same reasons. Hip hop, showed black life, wealth, but somebody who didn't grow up in wealth, how they interact in a new world. Number 4, I have the Boondocks. Yes, it's an animation, but if you have not seen it, check it out. Aaron McGruder, he was brilliant. What made it so way? Because he took real life situations, things that were actually happening in the news, and doing a story about it. I mean, that was the thing about it. It was real life. You could see. I mean, if you watch the news and then watch the Boondocks, you'll see. Okay, they're taking real stuff and making it funny. He really did have a social critique of black life, black community.
In a hilarious way.
Very funny, very funny. Number 3, Sanford and Son. It was a classic show. Red Fox, hilarious. Just the way he delivered. You could just put him in a room and let him talk, and he would be funny. Him and I don't know the actress's name that played Aunt Esther. I mean, when they were in the same room, what you know her name? All this, but when they were together and they were going at it, I mean, you were going to laugh. Just them going back and forth. And
great chemistry. They actually grew up together.
Oh, I didn't know that. In St. Louis?
Yeah.
I didn't know they grew up. Okay. So, yeah, maybe that's why they did have such great chemistry. But, you put them in the same room, and it was good stuff. So that's my number 3. Number 2 is, and I will admit, it is the most important black show. LaWanda Page. Classic. She was great.
In St. Louis, they grew up.
So number 2, I have Good Times. I think it's the most important. Some might argue that the Cosby Show was the most important black show, but before the Cosby Show, there was Good Times.
I would argue that if it was no Good Times, there would be no Cosby Show.
Right. Yeah.
The Cosby Show was a very, very important show.
Very important. Maybe the second. Maybe that's what we do next time.
The most important shows.
Yeah. So Cosby Show was important, but I think Good Times. And yes, Esther Roll and even John Amos. So they had disagreements because there were some stereotypes on there. So they had disagreements with Norman Lear, who was the creator, because they didn't like all the stereotypes. And
that's why they killed off James.
Yeah, because James, he was like, nah, I'm not with that. But yeah, you're right. Esther Roll was supposed to be the star. And then in the very first episode, the pilot episode, Jimmy Walker said dynamite. That was his only line in the entire first episode. But people started laughing over it. So then that's when Kid Dynamite, and you started hearing that all the time. And then JJ Jimmy Walker became... a lot of lines directed toward him.
Some of the other actors, had a problem with the buffoonery, as you might say.
Yeah.
They had a little issues with that stereotypical character.
There was some buffoonery on there, and I know some people may not like it because of that, but it was too important. It showed a strong black family. They weren't doing anything illegal. They worked hard to survive.
They loved each other.
That was good. You had never seen anything like that on TV. And plus,
had a good friend in Walona.
There was some funny stuff on there.
Yeah,
funny stuff.
Black Jesus.
Funny stuff on there.
The wino. I mean, there's some good stuff.
Yeah.
And the crowd involvement.
Yeah.
The live studio audience back there, the crowd was into it.
Sometimes I would be laughing at the crowd because somebody in the audience would be dying. I'm laughing at them.
You tell it, girl.
Yeah. I mean, they were into it. Yeah.
That's that black crowd.
So my number one, Everybody Hates Chris. Everybody Hates Chris is something that everybody in my household loved to watch. I thought it was brilliant, and it wasn't long enough.
Show.
Wasn't long enough, but I loved Everybody Hates Chris.
There's some great characters on there too.
Some great. I mean, it was hilarious. Talked about Chris Rock, using some things from his real life to tell a story. So he's the narrator and. Shows him as a youngster being bused to an all-white school and how he used to get beat up and all of that. So he made light of it, made it funny. Yeah. And I just like the way all the characters were developed. The father, how he was real strict in terms of money, and how the mother ran the house, his sister and brother. I mean, I thought it was a brilliant show.
The neighborhood. The
neighborhood
was important too.
The reason why I think I have this at number one because the storylines were funny. So it didn't require a whole lot of joke telling or jumping and physical humor. Although I'm not saying I'm opposed to that, but the storylines were important.
One show that I thought was funny. I mean, just because Terry Crews, the father. Remember, they had a martial arts teacher, and he taught somebody how to hit something, and then Terry Crews went down there to confront him.
Right.
And the martial artist, who's a smaller dude, beats up Terry Crews. I mean, and just watching it, who Terry Crews is. I mean, he's a big dude, and on this show he has to play, not a tough guy. So I know that wasn't even probably meant to be funny, but to me that was funny. Yeah. Earthquake was in it. He was. I just watched this Netflix special.
Yeah. So did I. Yeah. But yeah, he was in it. He was funny because he still lived with his mother, and he was Rochelle's brother, who was supposed to be Chris's mother. I remember one episode, Rochelle. So she's playing Chris's mother, Tachina Arnold, and. She tells Earthquake, her brother, that you need to do this because when Julius finds out, that's the husband, Terry Crews, finds out that you're here at the house, I don't know what he's going to do. And so Earthquake says, but yeah, if you do this, I don't know what Mama's going to do. So he didn't want to go back home to his mother because he got a job. I don't know what. That. And of course, he said it much funnier than I can. I don't know what Mama's going to do.
Earthquake's
so,
funny.
That's my funny. That's my top. Fresh Prince, Boondock, Sanford and Sons, Good Times. Everybody Hates Chris.
And I got to throw Bernie Mac show in there.
Bernie Mac,
honorable mention.
Bernie Mac was good.
I mean, there's a lot of shows that we missed. I'm sure you can hit us up and let us know what we missed. But yeah, there's a few we know, but we didn't mention A Different World.
It was some good shows. Good shows. So let us know what you think. Put it in the chat. Let us know what episodes you think should have been on the list that we didn't put on the list. Every Tuesday, we drop a new episode, Chopping It Up with the Cleavers. That's our YouTube channel. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Chopping It Up with the Cleavers.
Are we going to try to have a guest next week?
We might, yeah.
But I don't.
Yeah, so I haven't lined it up, but we're working on a special guest for next week's episode. We'll put it on social media if we square everything away with this special guest, but we'll let you know. Check us out next time. Chopping It Up with the Cleavers.
Peace.
I come, it's where I'm from. I say I'm going.